Hi, my name is Tony Law from Lawson Homes, and in today's video I want to run you through exactly how we decorated this place because we took a very different approach. Normally, with all of my previous projects, you get to the point where you're ready for decorators to come in. They take about 3 weeks on a property of this size. Don't forget it's big, there's 8 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, a big social area. So about 3 weeks is right to roller the entire property and paint all the woodwork in. However, I'm always keen to try new approaches, new techniques, and I wanted to try spraying the paint on the wall. But the truth is, I've got to hold my hand up here and say I didn't know how to do it. So I did some research and I stumbled across this guy, the Idaho painter. You've got to go to his website if you're interested in this approach. There's loads of training videos showing you exactly how to spray a property. And I learned very quickly that there are a number of different ways to tackle each type of project. But I've made our life much easier because all our walls were the same colour as the ceilings. They're either white or they're a colour called pointing. And what that means is you can get your spray gun, you start down at skirting level, you carry the gun up the wall, you spray across the ceiling and then you spray down the other wall. And it meant that, believe it or not, we could spray an entire room in less than 2 minutes. That's obviously incredible, and you can imagine how much faster that means you can get through the whole house. Obviously there's a little bit of preparation to do before you get to that stage, but you can see how it can speed the process up. Now the truth is there are some pros and cons to spraying, and what I'd like to do is to kick off with the cons first of all. So the first is you need to prep the entire house before you start. The second con, if you want to view it as a con, is that there is an extra level of complexity if your walls are a different colour to your ceiling, and you're certainly going to need to bring in an experienced trade to carry out the work if that's the case. But let me flip that around and say that if your walls and ceilings are the same colour, you simply got to try spraying. The third is you're still going to need to paint the woodwork in by hand. And the last con was a biggie for me, and that's that we got through a huge amount of paint. But I'm going to have to caveat that, because I believe now, with hindsight, that's because we made some mistakes in the way that we applied the paint. So how about the pros? Well, of course, the big one is the quality of the finish that you get. Frankly, rollering paint on the walls simply can't compare. Next, you've got the fact that one person can paint a property of this size, all the walls, all the ceilings, to perfection in 3 days. Next, you've got something that we hadn't really considered before we started the project, and that is the ease with which you can paint staircase spindles and all of the interior doors, which have a slightly complex shape. And last but not least is the fact that overall the project was much cheaper for us, and that's taking into consideration the fact that we used far more paint than we should. So as you can see, there are some pros and cons to spraying, but let me give you a few quick tips and tricks, if I may, that we learned throughout this process that might hopefully help you. So the first is, as I mentioned earlier on, you've got to make sure that your entire house is clear, prepped and ready to go before you bring the sprayer on site. So I'm talking about sanding, filling, masking everywhere that needs to be masked, so that you literally can start from one end and move all the way through. No trades can come on site other than, of course, the person spraying. The next thing is you will need to move the spray gun head far faster than you think you do because you're throwing so much paint at the wall. Related to that, use the spray gun at a lower pressure. Those two things combined are the two big lessons that we learn that will hopefully enable us to get through a lot less paint next time. And lastly, let me introduce you to my new best friend. This is a 3M hand masker. Fantastic little tool for masking up windows, door frames, skirtings, architraves, pretty much anything. I'll put a little link in the box below to the Idaho painter who demonstrates exactly how to use this. There you go. My name is Tony Law from Lawson Homes. As always, I hope that you found this video helpful. And as always, if I can be of any help with any of the projects that you're working on, or if you'd like to find out more about some of the joint venture opportunities that I have coming up, you are most welcome to give me a call on this number, or of course you can always email me here. That's it. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.